we're going to build out using automation and some simple technology and a pretty cool platform, a way for you to automatically find postal mailing addresses for your email only real estate leads. And not only that, we're also going to set up automatic direct mail to them with some proven marketing templates to see who of those people that were appending information and able to identify as homeowners, who of them might be interested or thinking about selling. And we're going to do all of that with our special guest as soon as he hops on. His name is Ryan Hartman. We've worked together for years on and off. We're going to do all of this using thanks.io, and we're going to bolt it on to my KV core so that the new leads that are coming in to my new construction funnel, we're automatically identifying which of those are homeowners. And at least from my experience over the last month, it's north of 60% of those leads that are opting in are homeowners. And what does that tell us? That tells us that a vast majority of those folks are thinking about either trading up or downsizing. Ryan, good to see you. I was teeing it up here a little bit. And so what we're going to do is we're going to walk you through, whoops, no, I didn't want to share my screen. I wanted to allow Ryan to share his screen. So what we're going to do is we're going to build out using webhooks how we're going to take those new leads that are coming in, feed them into thanks.io, and using a pretty cool function that they've recently, I guess it's not that recent anymore, added to the platform. We're going to append the postal mailing address and then set up automatic direct mail, in our case, or for today, just probably a postcard, a proven postcard template that's working right now. And we can also explore, time permitting, how we can feed that data back into KV Core as well. And also, for those of you who are curious or interested, there is an easy button to all this. And if you're interested or curious about that, the best place to start would be to check out the training at buildwithjosh.com. Or if you already have a consistent flow of new leads and you want Ryan's help or the thanks team's help to add this to what you're already doing, we can certainly make that happen as well. Just go ahead and reach out. Ryan, where should we start? We should probably, the webhook from thanks.
Start with, you have an ad running for new construction right now.
Yep.
On Facebook.
Yep.
And you need a way, are you pushing those into thanks yet? You need to zap those in.
I'm not. So here's what I've been doing currently. And for those that are interested, if you're watching this live, or whether you're watching this live or after the fact, if you drop a comment or shoot me a DM, I have a Loom tutorial on how you could do this manually. And that's how I've been doing it for the last month. In other words, every new leads that comes in, I've been manually playing private investigator or skip tracing to find which of those leads that are coming in own a home. And the reason why I do that is part of my process with all of those leads is once I identify that they own a home, I append the data to their KV Core contact record, and I set up some additional actions. For example, a market report for the area that they own a home in. There are some other things as well. What we're going to do today is automate more of that process. But if you want to do it manually or understand how that works, I do have a very detailed Loom video that will show you exactly how I'm doing that. Just drop a comment below or shoot me a DM. And for those of you live in the Zoom room right now, I'm going to find that Loom video and drop it in the chat for those who are curious.
Okay. So I just shared my screen and you can see it, Josh, I hope.
Let me see here. Yes.
Okay.
Sorry,
And we're at it.
Yep.
Okay. You don't mind me showing this, do you?
No, of course not. I'm an open book.
And I'm on one mile already, so bear with me. I'm making it real slow. So you're at like $5 a lead here on your new construction campaign.
Yep. I got a new one that's crushing it, a new variation, which we'll save for another topic for another day.
Okay.
But the one that I've had running for the month of April was right around $5 a day.
Yeah. Yeah, I just grabbed a random one here.
Yep.
So you've got these ads running, and what we want to do in some context is we can't collect an address off of a Facebook ad because we're in real estate. Facebook doesn't like us. right?
Yep.
We can get name, email, phone, which I think you're doing, Josh, and you're pushing those into KV Core currently, I
Yep.
assume? Okay.
Yep.
And do you have a Zap set up for that in your Zapier account?
Yes.
All right. I didn't ask you beforehand. Do you want me to log into your Zapier account to do this, or do you want to share your screen?
But if you could do it on yours, that would be great.
Yeah, I'd like to do it off the same Zap. Do you know your Zapier login?
Yeah, let me find that real
Bro,
quick.
Josh and I, we're gonna get into his Zapier account. This is an important step. So what we need to do is we need to, the same way that he's taking his Facebook ads and he's pushing them into KV4, we're gonna add another action that pushes them into Thanks. Now what Thanks is gonna do is it's gonna match on the email and get the address in the system for us. So I think we were both busy this morning, Josh. I meant to ask you about this, but I completely forgot.
Yeah, and that should be it. I hope that's the
You
right
send it to
one.
me where we usually talk.
No, I'm sorry. I sent it in the chat just directly to you. So it's my EXP email.
Okay.
And I dropped the password too. Let's hope that's the right one. As Ryan is doing this, I want to say again, if your eyes are already glazing over, just know that there is an easy button for this. We can help you with all this. And number one would be, I would encourage you to start by checking out the training at buildwithjosh.com. Number two, if you're already generating leads, but you want help with the automation piece and specifically what we're digging into here, just reach out to Ryan or I, and we can explore that with you, what that would look like and how to make that happen. Are you getting blocked? Is it not working?
Let me try this other one you sent me.
Hold on. That password is not right that I sent you. Let me figure out what my password is. Let's see here. Ryan, while I'm finding that, do you want to log into Thanks and maybe show folks where they're going to get what they'll need to populate in Zapier, and maybe even talk about the branding, the update to the branding?
Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. So Josh will figure out his Zapier. We'll do that step last. So let's skip to the part where we're going to build the actual card that goes out to these people. So they're opting in for a new construction list. Yeah, the first step is going to be to set your branding in the system. So if we go to Josh's branding here, I clicked on branding builder, you can see that it is putting his logo, his contact info, and Josh, I don't know why it's red. Was your website?
I changed it to red. I have changed my branding. This is something that is pretty new, but I've made a change for a number of reasons to run with black, white, and red.
I think you're thinking about joining KW, right? Is that what you told me?
That is not the case. So here's the real answer is our high school is red, black, and white. Louisville, which is where my son is headed to this summer, is also red, black, and white. So I'm going to be wearing red, black, and white for the foreseeable future, for the next 8, 10, 12 years, if not more. So I figured I'm just going to make my branding match that. So when I'm wearing Louisville or Cumberland Valley gear, it feels like it's on brand for me.
Perfect. So guys, if you're using Thanks, first step you want to take is click on this little brand builder. We've made this a lot easier to do. It was a little more complicated before, but just pop your information in these boxes. And what it does is it builds out the backside of your postcards. It builds you out some nice letter. And it's a good step. It makes everything personalized to you. The next thing we're going to do, Josh, and I assume you haven't done this yet, is we're going to create a mailing list to capture all these new construction leads that are coming in, right? So I'm going to just create Zapier list. And guys, I'm going fast. You don't have to do any of this now. Just put it in the back of your head. This is what the flow is. And do you want me to call this new construction Cumberland County or something? Or just new construction?
New construction funnel or whatever. New construction, yeah. Whatever.
So you name it whatever you want. So that is built. And then what we're going to do is we are going to send a postcard to anybody who opts into the Facebook ad on the buy side of things requesting a list. But we're going to assume they own a home. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build that creative next. So I'm going to go into the image template.
And I tried to save some time. I think.
This?
Yeah, I think I did some of this to shortcut on this. Now,
so for anybody watching the replay, what Josh did was he went and clicked on our full dynamic image builder here.
Yep.
And he got to this tool and he saved me some work today where he just built out this template. And by the way, Josh, you can share your template with everybody if you want.
A couple of things on this. Number one, we can easily share it. Number two, it's incredibly easy to make these. Number three, when someone scans a QR code, I'm sending them to an iList dashboard that has multiple value estimates and cash offer options. If you want a free trial of iList, you can go to growwithjosh.com/iList, or you can send them to whatever you want. One of the many wonderful things that I love about thanks.io is when the recipient scans that QR code, I instantly get an email that says, Ryan Hartman at this address just scanned the QR code on this postcard. What does that tell me? That tells me that for some reason they're interested in whatever is on that postcard, right? They're at least interested or curious, and then I can follow up to see what has you interested about the value of blank address.
Yeah, the way I've been saying that is they're primed for a real estate conversation. Even if the neighbor was curious, like real estate's on their mind. Josh, you can do text notifications of that now too, if you want.
That's very cool.
That's
very cool.
You just have to add your phone number.
And if it's not, also one last thing, if it's not obvious, whatever, the picture that's populating here, that is the Google Street View of their house.
Yeah.
That is a pattern interrupt. When they get a postcard that has their house on it, they're going to read what's on the postcard.
So yeah, what we did recently is we added these 4 QR overlay designs, and we're trying to make the design here a lot easier. You don't have to design anything. You're just sending the picture of their house. The way you're doing that is you're just clicking and adding Street View here. It'll probably already be added if you use Josh's template. Josh is using this language that we have tested up and down, 15 ways sideways of thanks.io. Josh, you've tested it on your stuff.
Yep.
Wondering how much a buyer might pay for, or see how much a buyer might pay for, some kind of variation of that. It's merging the address in of the recipient with this dynamic tag over here, CCR dynamic data tags.
Yep.
And then the call to action is just scan the QR code. This is your iList call to action for 4 automated evaluations and make your own adjustments. And Josh, you're just taking people here to your iList page.
And so here's the thing that's cool about that. When they scan it, they instantly get taken to their dashboard. They don't have to opt in. They don't have to fill anything out. It will literally populate the information for that address, 4 different estimates of value and cash offer options that they can explore. It provides, it's an experience that is easy and, at least if nothing else, interesting. Is it always 100% accurate? No, you're making good on the promise that the card is making without adding a bunch of friction to the process.
Yeah. So now, recent thing we added here, it'll automatically put your logo in if you use the branding builder. So it's just putting your logo up top here. You can put anything you want. It's basically putting an image up at the top left or wherever the template has it.
Yep.
And then that is it. So the preview's generated. You guys can see it here. Every recipient's going to get a picture of their house with a QR code unique to them, which is important because that's how we identify who it was, and you can do your follow-up.
Yep.
The message side, so that's our front side with the picture of the house. The message side, I don't know if you've done that yet, Josh.
I did. I think I edited an old one. There's a lot of them in here.
Yep, find it.
Yeah, what a buyer might pay, or
It's probably to see how much a buyer might pay card that I had in here.
yeah.
Yeah, you've got more than most.
Yeah, I do use the thing. That's for sure.
Yeah. Home value.
We got to be getting close here. 3 alternate options.
Just curious if you're still interested in selling. Why don't I just build it fresh? You can change it later.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we show everybody how
Right.
it is anyway. So I'm going to click add message, and I'll just say, see how much a buyer might pay, see what a buyer might pay. And then, hi, first name. Josh, you can change this to be you. This is going to be Ryan copy, not Josh copy.
Yeah.
But you can change this to sound like you. My first name. If address might or in today's market, scan the QR. Net. All right, Josh, I'll let you expand on that, but I more want to show out the functionality.
Okay.
I can pick my handwriting right here. I can turn on handwriting. You can see the handwriting change.
Yep.
PS. Well, I'm not going to do a PS. And then I would just put your iList URL here, right?
Here's what it's called. It's called iList Home Value Template.
That's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah.
I
must have
can
made
just
it.
fill that out though, right?
Oh, totally. Yep.
Very easy. I was just trying to get the QR. Once I edit here, the QR will show up at the top. And it's cool. Feels personal. I wanted to show everybody the fake cross out.
The what?
I need more text for it to take hold. We have this realism mode now.
I didn't even know that.
It puts fake crossouts in the mail.
Uh-uh.
It never works when I'm doing a demo. It's completely random. Every postcard goes out. You see the cross out there?
That's right. That's good.
This is more appropriate when you're doing our note cards and it feels like you actually handwrote it and scribbled it. It's a little less appropriate or necessary on a postcard, but I just want to show everybody that if you turn on the realism mode, it'll do that. So I'm going to save this. Josh, for the purposes of our demo moving forward, I'll use that other card that you already had made.
Okay. Yep.
Let's just go find it and show it to people. Control F. Is it pending ILS? No,
No,
I'll find it.
not that one either.
It's home value in it. ILS home value.
There it is. That's the one. Yep.
So here's what Josh did. Lots of text. Just so you know, the 6x9s do give you more space. We changed that so people could put a lot more copy in their cards. It used to not be that way. I wanted to try to do the cross. Yeah, it's not going to work.
Text.
Yeah, because I'm taking you from, see, I was saying reduced message side.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking you from an old version to a, so you can see it there. I won't save this so you can keep whatever handwriting you want, but everybody, you can see here, you have a lot of choices on the way this looks. All right, so Josh, we have the infrastructure built. We have our ILS home value template, and we have, I forget what we called the last one, we have the front side built.
Yep.
Infrastructure wise, now we just need to tell the system what we want to have happen. So the templates exist in the system, but we need to say, hey, we need this to trigger. So I'm here in the campaigns page. I'm going to add a new campaign and I'm going to say, hey, send a postcard 4x6. We want to send our curious what a buyer might pay. That's the one we were just working on, right?
Yep.
And we'd like to send the iList home value template right there. And we're going to send that whenever somebody hits our new construction funnel mailing list. You can add or current resident to increase delivery rate. That's totally up to you. It just adds a second line on the cards. The downside is it looks a little more commercial, like a little less personal, but it also increases delivery rate to the post office.
Yeah.
And then right here, my Zoom window's in the way. You guys can't see that. I'm going to say, hey, I want this to happen one day after this person is added.
Yep.
You could also do monthly if you're a baller. I'm daring everybody. But you send it every month on the first of the month.
Yeah.
So that you hit them 12 times a year with the same car. I like to call that out because I'm here to sell postcards too, Josh.
Yeah, no doubt.
There you go. But anyway, we just did the one day after. And of course, what you just saw me do, you could have multiple touches included in there. You could have another postcard or letter go out like 3 months later that says, here's a list of investment properties.
Here's what I'm going to do, and we'll share this on a coming show or session. One of the things that I'm going to add into the mix is around the builder incentives and special financing programs available for new construction. So this is taking the assumption that they own a home and they'd want to sell to buy new construction. So from that angle, but then messaging around the thing that they opted in for in the first place, which was information about new construction homes available in blank area. And I know we have empirical data that says that one of the best ways to get into conversation with those leads is by talking about or teasing or offering information about builder incentives and special financing programs to purchase a new home. And I've got a report for that, and I'm digitally marketing that, but might as well hit them in their physical mailbox with it as well.
Yep. And you probably also have some digital retargeting and all this stuff going out about that.
Yep.
So they're seeing you, the idea here is they're seeing you everywhere they turn online, and then you show up in the real world in their hands, and they get this kinesthetic, like NLP kind of experience with you, boost conversion. So you could just see the campaign roll here. It shows up, new construction funnel. If it hits that list, it's going to send that postcard image and that message. So the logic's all built. So Josh, the last thing we need, we've got an empty mailing list here.
Yep.
So we need to start adding people here, and hopefully that's where you and I can get our stuff together and get logged into the Zapier account.
Yep. I sent you the updated password. Hopefully that works.
Try that here. And just so everybody knows, the team at Thanks.io is very happy to just build these apps, and we'll even do it out of our account. So you don't have to pay for Zapier if you want. So if you're
like I said, if this is giving you quote unquote tech overwhelm, just understand that there's an easy button for all of this. From if you're already generating leads and you want this bolted on to whatever you're doing, or you have nothing going right now and you want all of it. You want the campaign and funnel set up and bolting on what we're doing today. In that scenario, the best place to start would be buildwithjosh.com. Check out the training there and then schedule a time to chat. It's still not working.
Your password. Your son was born exactly 1 day, 1 month, year, and 1 day before my dog.
Oh, wow.
I hope that doesn't give too much away about your password. People would really have to dig.
Yeah.
Figure out which of the 9 kids you
Also,
got.
there's some other stuff in there. It's not just the date.
All right. Is this the
Yep.
Is this the Zap currently the mechanics?
Yep. Mechanicsburg one. Yep.
So let's show everybody, because not everybody might be initiated to this. Just what Josh is doing here is he's built a connection between Facebook lead ads, the ad we showed in the beginning, and he's taking that information and he's zapping it via Zapier into KV Core currently.
Yep.
Currently, you're doing that only name, email, and phone, because that's all the information Facebook will allow us to get. Otherwise, you're a fair housing scammer if you collect an address somehow.
Yep.
The magic that's going to happen here is that Thanks.io can actually take the same data and append a physical street address to it for the follow-up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come to the very end here. I'm going to click and edit this draft, this existing Zap, and I'm going to click at the very end, and I'm just going to add a step. I'm going to choose Thanks.io. Josh already has his account connected. Usually you have to connect the account. I'm just going to add the recipient. Oh, I do have to choose. There we go. It always does that. It doesn't show that it connected. There we go. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to say, hey, put this person into that mailing list. You see how Zapier went and found that new mailing list that we created, the new construction funnel?
Yep.
And I see you have one for recruiting too. This will work the same way there, by the way, that you could do similar funnel if you're generating.
And we're working on that.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Recipient full name. So this is just, if you haven't built the Zap before, it's pretty easy once you've done it once or twice, but I'm just going to go ahead and grab the name. So add that there. I need you don't really need it, but I'm going to add the email. I'm sorry. You do need the email, because that's how
the phone. You don't need the phone. Is that what you meant?
don't need the phone, but I'm going to add it anyway, Josh, just so it's in there in case you ever need it.
I hope I'm right here. I think by adding the phone, does that mean when I get the notification about the QR code scan, that phone number will be there? Makes it even easier for you to then follow up with the people that scan, because Thanks will already have had or already include in that contact record the phone. So when you get a text or email notification, when the recipient scans the QR code, you can call or text and say what has you curious or checking out values for the property at blank address.
That was the reason we added the text notifications as well.
Yeah.
Because we started incorporating phone numbers into our system. So if you get a text message notification, the number will be there, and then you click that and send a text straight off.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
The custom fields here, I just want to mention, we're not going to use it in this campaign, but the idea with our creatives in Thanks is that you can dynamically include any information you want to push in. So if you have attributes about that lead that you want to echo back to them on the mail, you can do that.
Let's give it, we're not going to do this, but just for a thought exercise, the people opting in for this are opting in for new construction homes available in Mechanicsburg. We could use a custom field to reflect that or echo that back to them. Hey, it looks like you were thinking about buying a new home in Mechanicsburg. So this could be, oh man, this could be a great additional follow-up. So we could send a message 3 weeks later. Okay. Forget about the current postcard, but the message 3 weeks later could be, a couple of weeks ago, you requested info about all the new construction homes available in Mechanicsburg, PA right now. When you find the right one, would you have to sell blank address first, or would you hang on to that as a rental property or something like that? You could do some really cool stuff with that.
Yeah, definitely. So and this is especially relevant if you're running this campaign in multiple markets, if you're a broker owner or you're doing this for your whole team or something like that.
Yeah.
All I'm going to do is I'm just going to finish. I'm going to grab the latest lead here. This fella here is going to get added. Hopefully we find a match. So it finds a match about 60 to 70% of the time. So I'm going to test step.
Ryan, while you're doing that, I can export all of the ones that I've manually skip traced for the last month. I can export those and import them to that mailing list. And then tomorrow, those, I don't know, it'll be like between 30 and 40 that I've already appended homeowner mailing address to. I can have that fire off beautifully. Yeah.
So it's taking a second here. I do want to check something, Josh, because you've had an account for a while. I just want to make sure that we have the option turned on automatically. There is a setting that says that you're okay with us doing the match. So I want to make sure that's turned on.
Maybe you said this already, because I'm also monitoring several, but it costs 7 cents per match, which let's face it, that's peanuts. So if there is a match, it will cost you 7 cents.
Yeah. If you're already spending $2 on the lead or $3 on the lead. Yeah. And you can mail that once you get the address, you can mail it as often as you want. Or a setting is. I haven't clicked it since the day we released the features. All right. Let me go back here, Josh. I just want to make sure I tested this correctly. Name, full name, email. It could be that they didn't find something on this guide. So I might have to put another, purposes of our demo, I might have to push another piece of info in.
Okay.
just manually, just to show everybody what it's supposed to do. So I'm just going to check real quick. I can show you in Brett's account because he's doing the same thing.
Yep.
I'll just do that. It'll be quicker. So guys, if it finds a match, it pushes it in here and then it automatically sends. It could
The
also
next day.
Yeah, the next day, according to the campaign logic. So I'll show you what this starts to look like. You know, he doesn't mind. But I'm going to go into Brett Furman's account. He's not on, is he? I know he's on your stuff sometimes.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So we set up a downsizing it for Brett probably 3-4 months ago. And if I go to his mailing list, he does a lot of mailing. So I got to find, here it is. So this is an ad campaign is offering a master on Main list of single family homes. So it's for downsizers. All of these people, these addresses were not collected at Facebook. They were automatically added by Thanks. So he has 256 of them have come in. And then
I hope people are appropriately excited by this because the world we live in, data is more valuable than ever. So let's face it, if you're in a market like Brett's or mine or whatever, there are other people running ads. Okay? There are other people running ads. If you're the one that's taking the extra step to append that data, whether you're using technology or you do it yourself, how I show you in that Loom video, having extra data means you can have more relevant conversations with those people. In other words, you're having smarter, better conversations, and you also know who to invest more energy and time with from the perspective of the homeowners that might be looking for multiple transactions. Like this is really good. I'm curious. I think when you told me the other day, Brett said he's at north of 50%. So there were 256 there. So he's probably generated 400 or 500 leads with name, email, and phone number. But now he has 256 that are seller leads.
Yes, they're more or less, we have a verified address on them. All his retargeting campaigns are showing to these people. And then the other thing Thanks will do is it's automatically grabbing anybody and everybody who scans a QR code from any of his campaigns is just listed as just sold cards. And it's building an all QR scans hot list.
Yeah.
So Brett has a list now of 132 people. This is across all his campaigns, not just this one, that are responsive to mail.
Yeah.
So it would be hard for me to imagine that he doesn't pick up 5% of these people when they list their house because they're seeing digital ads. They've opted into something. They're getting a postcard from him. They're getting his automated postcards and all this other stuff in mail, tactically and physically. Josh, the reason I bring it up is like this new construction campaign is just one piece of a funnel that's building this highly responsive opt-in list.
And also, Brett can make some assumptions different than I can in the sense that his top of funnel offer is offering homes with a master on Main. He can assume, and it won't always be right, but you can take the assumptive stance that they some kind of home that they're looking to downsize from. And it most likely means that the master on that current home is not on the main floor. New construction, I can make the assumption that it's most likely folks trading up from their starter home into a bigger family home, or the same as Brett, where they're trading down looking for a single story or a new home that has a master on the main. And I can use that to my advantage by making sure that part of my automation asks that question. Hey, it looks like you were interested in new construction homes here in Mechanicsburg. Are you thinking about trading up to a bigger new home for your growing family? Or are you looking to downsize or right size into a home that has a master on the main or maybe even a single story home, right? So I can ask better questions, more relevant questions. And the better questions I ask, the more relevant they are, the more replies I get, the more conversations I get. And let's face it, if you want to sell more homes, if you want to help more clients, the number one KPI is conversations. If you have more conversations, you will help more clients.
So Josh, it was bothering me that the Zap didn't send that test guy in, one of your last leads.
Yeah.
It simply didn't find a match for that guy. I just put your name and email in.
Yep.
I hope you don't mind everybody watching knowing, but is that your actual address?
Yeah.
Yep. So
since 2004.
Yeah. So it found your address. You're now on the list. And then tomorrow it's going to send you one of your own cards. Might as well let it, right? You probably want to send it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
I'll turn it into content.
So that'll arrive tomorrow. So the Zap's working for everybody who's a little more advanced and you're building your own Zaps. If you run into an issue, you can always just put hard data into the configure tab like I just did instead of the merged field.
Yep.
Just make sure, I'm geeking out here a little bit, make sure you go back in and you make sure that you put the mapping back on from Facebook.
Janelle says, if the leads aren't coming from Facebook, where are they coming from? I don't know what you mean. You have to generate the leads from somewhere. It could be from Google pay-per-click. It could be from Facebook, Instagram. It
Yep.
could be from TikTok. It could be from YouTube ads. They could come from any
Home
place.
bot.
It's
any,
just
any home value tool. Yep.
Yeah, it's just taking an email address and appending data where possible. And Ryan, I'm sure this varies by market and other factors, but you can 50, 60, 70% of the time, it's going to be able to match it up. And now you've got more and better data. I think it makes way more sense to use this function if you're using direct response marketing, Facebook or Instagram lead ads, Google pay-per-click, TikTok lead ads, etc., because people are they're raising their hand and expressing an interest in real estate versus doing this with just cold data or random data. To me, this particular function wouldn't make sense for that. It makes the most sense to do it with hand raisers, people that are already, they're taking some action to indicate that they may be interested. Here's another, I don't know if you could do this automatically. There's so many uses for this. So let's say you've never done this work and you've got a database full of people that are coming back to look at properties. Every day you check the ones that are back on the site looking at properties, and then you could use the tool. You could just manually pop in the email address to the list here. And if it matches, bang, tomorrow they get a direct mail piece goes into production.
So that's what I was going to say. KV Core in particular, a lot of high level based CRMs, you can actually zap your contact into your mailing list without using Zapier. So I shouldn't say zap, but we have this functionality where we basically have this little webhook URL that you would tie to a KV Core Smart campaign. And then if you add somebody to that campaign, it would push them into this list. So you could set it up so like in KV Core, you just have add to send mail campaign and it would push them over here. Josh, the other thing you could do, and you might want to, I mean, it might be expensive for you because you have so many leads, but if you've had buyer leads in the past that you know are responsive, like you're saying there, you could upload them to the Fank system and it'll do the match on.
So here's a very specific way you could do that. So I could go to my KV Core and sort by anyone who's looked at properties on the site in the last 90 days, let's say, or this year, whatever. You could choose whatever you want, 30 days, 7 days, 60 days, 90 days. I could export that list and append it here.
Yeah, you just import it here. You see I have the toggle on for the 7 cents per record.
Yep.
And it'll just find those people and it'll send them the card tomorrow if you have the logic set up. So if you're trying to, if you're just thinking about ways to get more deals out of the database leads you already have.
Yep.
So you're going to spend 70 cents a postcard here. And a lot of people are busy trying to spend, I don't know what it costs for Zillow leads. So they're trying to spend $4 on a Google click to get another lead, right? Why not go back to your base? The people have already been percolating and incubating in your database and engage them here with physical mail.
And here's the thing about this kind of physical mail, direct mail. People actually scan the QR code, okay? There's lots of companies and options, and you've probably paid for direct mail in the past that was more what's in it or, about me than what's in it for them. In other words, it was branding focused. It was about you. On these types of postcards with the pattern interrupt of their property on the front and the merging in of data and the QR code integration, etc., you can expect 3, 5, 7, 8. We've seen direct mail that gets 10% of the people to scan the card. And that gives you a more targeted audience that you could send more direct mail to, text, call, email, personal video message, personal text message. What? Find where the audio is coming from?
It's here. You can mute me. Here, mute me.
Nosy neighbor. All right. Anyway, I think hopefully we've gone in enough detail here for those that are curious and interested. And what I would say in wrapping up once again, if this was clicking for you, making sense for you, but you just need help with the tech overwhelm piece of this, please reach out. And if you want help with the top of funnel campaign and setup and all of that, as well as this bolted on, we've got an easy button for the whole process as well. Buildwithjosh.com is the best place to start, or just reach out to Ryan or I. Most of you on here have our contact information in some form or fashion. What were you calculating there?
Yeah. So this is very fresh. This just hit in the last week. So we sent it 423, right? Almost the exact same card you were sending. Remax broker in New Hampshire. He sent 473 to a farm, Cole. So these weren't people who knew him at all. He just went and sent a mailing list to a neighborhood, sent a postcard to the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So he did this card, which kind of looks like what we just built with you, right?
Yep.
Pretty similar. I hope that image is throwing me off. That street view image.
So why is it Subway?
It's our I think Justin put the narrative joke. It's just our preview. It doesn't.
Oh,
It's
okay.
our preview tool.
Gotcha.
And here's the card. Very similar, right? The reason I was doing the math is he got 30 scans on 473 neighbors.
That's phenomenal.
6.3%. For direct mail guys, like 1 or 2, you're doing pretty good. 6.3% engaging. And he can call them all back. They're emailing or texting. And if he keeps mailing the same postcard at least once a quarter, there will be listings.
And when you follow up, ask a question. Don't assume that they want to list or sell their property with you. Just ask, what had you curious? What about the postcard caused you to scan? Or why were you interested in checking out the value? Just a question, a simple question. Be genuinely curious and then just shut up. Their answer is their answer, whatever it is. Who cares? And if you talk less, they'll talk more and they'll reveal the real reason why they scanned it. And sometimes it genuinely is, they're just curious and they're never going to sell and it was good marketing and you got them, right? But I would say more often than not, there's something that they're thinking about.
Josh, what would happen if Andrew here went to all 30 of these homes in person with a CMA for that house?
Yeah.
One listing, right?
I gotta believe.
A couple of days of work, but next 2 or 3 days he might spend driving around town. It's all in one neighborhood, so it wouldn't be that hard. It's all one farming. Yeah.
Right. And in this particular scenario, what he should do is add all of those people who scan to his, whether he's using KV Core or whatever, make sure that their address is populated in there. He could use iList to send them to a dashboard, whatever. You can make the assumption once they've taken actions like that, you can add them to a market report in KV Core based upon whatever this zip code or town is, right? You can do some things to take the assumptive position that when they're ready to transact real estate, that you're their real estate agent until they tell you otherwise, until they they unsubscribe or tell you to knock it off.
Josh, yeah, I gotta go. We have a lot more coming, right? Because we're hanging out on these things.
Yeah, this week we're slowly ramping up. So this week, tomorrow, which is our normal Wednesday mastermind, I have a special guest coming on to talk about commercial real estate and this is really good, a simple script that you can use to create commercial real estate referrals. So if you have zero interest in ever learning about commercial real estate, doing deals, I promise you just that will be worth joining us tomorrow, because you could create a 5, 10, 15, 50, 100,000 in GCI if you start incorporating into your daily practice when you're having conversations with clients or potential clients, et cetera. So that's tomorrow, Wednesday, at 11 a.m. Eastern. It's the same link, same time. And then I think starting next week, we'll be on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday with different focused topics like this one. For example, on an upcoming session, I'm going to show you how to take a coming soon video and show it to all the neighbors on their televisions. That's one that I'm doing for a coming soon. I'm listing in my.
It's like when you're watching shows, I'm starting to see them for like stuff that I've been checking out.
Oh yeah, yep.
Like on your smart TV.
Yep. So we'll share that. I'm going to share so my new construction funnel, now that it's working predictably, now I'm testing other variations of ads. Now that I've got a baseline of what the cost per lead is, to see if I can beat that lead or see if I can get even warmer leads at the top of the funnel by playing with some different copy and also the actual media with the ad, the actual creatives with the ad. So lots of good stuff to come. And if you guys have a topic or an idea that you want us to dig into or need help with, we're open to any and all of that as well. Please support us by going and checking out thanks.io. You can get a free account at growwithjosh.com/thanks. And also
use that URL and not thanks.io. We're starting to inject Josh's templates and stuff into those accounts. So,
yep, I appreciate that. And check out buildwithjosh.com if you want some help with generating motivated leads and you want to avoid all the tech overwhelm and just focus on the conversations and clients that come from it, buildwithjosh.com. Hope to see everybody tomorrow talking commercial real estate. And then Ryan will be back. Ryan, you will or won't be here tomorrow? I can't remember.
I'll be around tomorrow on Flying Thursday.
That's right. That's right.
Session because I'm curious.
Yeah, right on. All right. Thanks, everybody. Keep us posted if there's anything we can do. And any of the resources, if you can't find or need help with, drop a comment, shoot me a DM, call, text, email, whatever works. Take care and take action.